We go back and look at the old-time star in Major League Baseball, Ferguson, of course, Cy Young Award winner, Hall of Famer, Cub, Texas Ranger, the whole 9 yards. He had a great career. Ferguson, it's good to talk. How are you today, pal? Okay?
I'm doing fine. Doing good.
Good to have you with us. All right, 65 Phillies. Gene Moore coming off that awful year. You pitched 12 innings that year. I'm assuming you made one start. First one ever. Who was it against? You remember?
No, with the Phillies, no, it was all out of the bullpen.
All out of the bullpen. So they didn't realize what they had. So when they traded you to the Cubs, you probably looked at it as a new lease on life. A little surprised they gave up on you so quick. What was your take on that trade there when they made it right after the 65 season?
Well, the biggest thing is they wanted a couple of veteran pitchers, which they got from the Cubs, Larry Jackson and Bob Buell. So I was involved with Adolfo Phillips. The Cubs needed a center fielder, and aging Ernie Banks, John Hernstein, was supposed to take over for Ernie at first base. And I was going to be just a pitcher that was maybe the throw-in.
So they didn't expect that much out of you, and out of the gate, 1966, you win 6 games, and in '67 you win 20. I don't know if Leo was there yet, but it didn't take too long for you to settle in there in the friendly confines. How about that '67 season, Fergie? Obviously a great All-Star game too. Lots to talk about from that year. Go ahead.
Well, yes, Leo was the manager. He joined the team in '66, and he made big trades for Randy Hundley, Bill Hands, myself, Adolfo Phillips. There were quite a few young players that Leo was grooming for that 67 season and the 68 season. So we, under his tutelage, became a lot better ball club.
And obviously he was a throwback, so he let you pitch until your arm fell off. He didn't care. He didn't care about pitches thrown or where the ball was going. You got the ball to start the game, you were going to finish it, and you did with all your complete games. How about that for a sec, Ferguson?
The biggest thing is that I had Robin Roberts as a coach there in '67. So I think I was listening more to Robin Roberts than Leo. But Leo was the kind of manager, he gave me that opportunity to start, and I just went with it.
Sure did. How about getting used to the pitching in that ballpark? And everybody talks so much when the wind blows out. The wind blows in a lot, too. So, I mean, it's not like every game's 10-8. And you probably got accustomed to Wrigley Field to your advantage pretty quick there in that '67 season. How about that?
Well, early in the season, the wind blows in April, and then in May, June, the wind blows across, then out. You can't do anything about the atmosphere, the weather. So I just had to conform what my strength was, and that was to pitch guys in and then down. And I was a pretty good pitcher to pitch down, and I had a good slider, good running fastball, and things kind of worked for me.
And you didn't get that wrapped up about giving up a solo home run. You gave up a lot of homers in your career, but that never bothered you. Hey, listen, you hit a home run out of the ballpark. It's only one run, not 3 or 4. I probably thought that was what your idea was on a day-in or start-in, start-out basis, Ferguson. How about that?
Well, the biggest thing is you got to keep people off the base path before you're giving up the home run. And I didn't walk a lot of people, so that was an important factor. I challenged the hitter as much as possible, made them hit the ball, made them understand that I was throwing strikes. So if they got behind in the count, a lot of times I end up winning the battle.
You sure did. All right, '69. Everybody says Leo wore out the team. Didn't use his bench properly. The Mets caught fire. We understand that. You guys had a big lead in mid-August. Did Leo wear out that Cub team there trying to chase down a pennant in 1969?
I think that the bullpen got used more than they should have. We, I think, early September, really didn't score as many runs as we should have. And unfortunately, things like that happened because we were scoring 4 or 5 runs a game. And unfortunately, that stopped mid-September. We scored runs, but not enough.
Yeah, and the Mets just caught fire. Always have heard that, Billy Williams loved Leo and vice versa, but Leo had a problem with Banks. Is that true?
Yeah, he looked at Ernie. He was an aging ball player. He had a bad hip, and he wanted to replace Ernie with so many different first basemen. We had Lee Thomas, We had John Herrnstein, as I said, John Boccabello. It just, and Ernie would always come through. When Ernie pinch hit, he might hit a single, double, and then you had to start playing him. And Ernie would continue to play. Unfortunately, I think because of his age, Leo wanted to put a younger ball player at that particular position.
How about that? All right, I skipped over and I should have. 67 All-Star game, 3 great innings. You're a young pitcher, first ever against a big American League lineup. American League, the National League ends up winning in 15 innings, 2-1. You pitched really well that day, Ferguson. How about that great thrill? Let's hear.
Yeah, it was my first All-Star game. I had a lot of adrenaline going. My first hitter I faced was Mickey Mantle. I was really fortunate enough that he took a call, strike 3. There was a lot of players that I had read about, and now I've got an opportunity to pitch against them because we didn't have interleague play. So All-Star games is the only time you're going to face a guy like a K-Line, a Brooks Robinson, Mickey Mantle, Harmon Killebrew, Oliva. So that was a lot of fun.
And Mantle, first guy you ever faced. Who gave you more trouble, Mays or Aaron?
Probably Mays. Hank Aaron was the kind of guy that was a line drive hitter. I had a lot of opportunity to pitch against. 11 years I pitched against Hank Aaron. So from Milwaukee and then with Atlanta, he was a tough out. But I think I won the battle a lot of times.
And then May. All right, 71. Was that you? I know you won a Cy Young that year. A lot of times pitchers win a Cy Young when they didn't really feel that was their best ever year. Yeah, I mean, you won 20 games, basically 6-7 years in a row with the Cubs, then another 20 with Texas. Was 71 your best season overall, pound for pound? Ferguson, thoughts there?
I think it started off in spring training. I was healthy. I was healthy all those other years. But the biggest thing is we started the season, and I think opening day, I beat Bob Gibson in 10 innings. And I kind of thought that because of the fact that I'd gotten in such a great shape, was able to pitch 10 innings, especially in Wrigley Field, that I thought that season was going to be big. And it ended up being big for me. I ended up winning quite a few ball games and ended up outpointing Tom Seaver. He won well over 20 games himself and ended up winning the Cy Young.
Yeah, how about that? I looked it up, too. I didn't. My buddy Nate did. 2 home runs and 70 at-bats against Hammer and Hank. That's pretty darn good. Good for you. All right, the trade to Texas. They get Bill Madlock, and Madlock was a great hitter who had won 2 batting championships, and you go down to Arlington. Did that shock you? Give me some thoughts on that. Go ahead.
Well, I was the first player traded. I was traded in November, which is, most of the time when they have the winter meetings in December, this is a lot of times the trades are made. So I was traded in late November. I had said to myself, there was nothing wrong with me. They had put in the paper because I didn't win 20 games. I think that year I only won 14 or 15 games. I got traded to Texas, a last place ball club. And I had a great manager, Billy Martin. And I try to confront Billy and tell him, hey, you give me the ball, I'll win some ball games for you, which he did.
Hab 25. That's a good one because Morton and DeRocher are very much alike. Pepper Potts, tough guys off the field, same kind of player, sort of overachievers, know the game inside and out. Fascinating that you played for those two. Do I have the similarities right there, Ferguson, or not?
Oh, yes. Yeah, they were almost similar. I think the biggest thing is they didn't like excuses. They gave you the ball. They expect you to go out there and do your job, which I tried to do as a pitcher. Especially in the American League, we had the DH. I had Alex Johnson from time to time as a DH and Jeff Burrows. But all I did was pitch. Go out there and pitch, do your job, and win ball games. And I was very fortunate enough the team really played good defense and offense for me. And I ended up winning 25 games that year. I ended up getting shut out 7 times. If they'd have scored more runs, I could have won maybe 30 ball games that year.
Well, how about that? It finished second to the Cy Young. How about pitching in Arlington with the hot weather and pitching in Wrigley Field outdoors in the friendly confines? Those days, no lights. Give me the differences there.
Well, you can't do much about playing in certain situations. Arlington, it was warm, well over 100 degrees quite a few times. Humidity is from time to time was similar to Wrigley Field. Day baseball, you're going to run into humidity. I enjoyed the heat. I wore a long sleeve shirt, a lot of times long underwear. I try not to let that particular situation bother me because I tried to stay in shape. I ran all the time between starts, and it was like a four-man rotation we had in Texas, similar to Chicago. And just Billy Martin was similar to Leo. Just let me pitch. I was going to win ball games.
And you did. You go to Fenway. Did you like pitching in Fenway Park? I mean, with the wall and left, you probably took that to your advantage, and you won ball games there too, Ferguson. How about the couple years in Fenway?
Well, Fenway is similar to Wrigley. It's small, had a win factor from time to time during the summer months. We had a good pitching rotation. We had Louis Tiant, Rick Wise, Bill Lee, and myself. And, we can't score runs for everyone. That year, I think it was Louis. He probably averaged maybe 5-6 runs a game. Rick Wise, and we got starved from time to time, 2 or 3 runs. But I enjoyed Fenway Park. It made you think, similar to Wrigley Field. You can't afford to get behind in the hitter's counts, stay ahead of the hitter, and by far, inning to inning, you got to think continuously because of the fact that if you make mistakes, small ballpark, you're going to give up runs.
Think about it, too. You unfortunately never got a chance to pitch in a postseason game, and you had the 2 great pennant races, 69 Mets, and everybody remembers 78. They forget 77. The Red Sox and Yankees had a very good pennant race in 77. Reggie played great late, hit some home runs. Red Sox went into Yankee Stadium in late September with a chance, and you were right there. So those were your 2 opportunities to win a division, Ferguson, 8 years apart. Let me hear some thoughts there. Go ahead.
Well, I thought we lost the pennant race when we went to Chicago. We had a 2.5 game lead, and Leo changed. It wasn't Leo. Don Zimmer changed the pitching rotation.
Right.
He took Bill Lee, myself, and Rick Wise out of the rotation. We had a 2.5 game lead, and when we left Chicago, we were tied with Baltimore, and the Yankees were a half game in front. And I think the Yankees didn't lose the lead after that. But I just thought that if he hadn't changed that rotation, things might have been different. I think we got the Yankees out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, everybody did it in 78, too. So Don with the pitchers could be at times a little crazy. Hall of Fame, when you got the call, Ferguson, give me some thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, Jack Lang was the individual. He was alive at the time. He phoned me. I had the farm there in Oklahoma. And I was really, really happy that that particular situation happened. I went in with Carew and Perry. The time before that, I was on the ballot with Yastrzemski and Bench, and they went in. And then the following year was Jim Palmer and Joe Morgan. So I was quite happy to win with those other 2 great athletes, especially Carew, 7 or 8 batting titles. And Gaylord and I were teammates, and he won 300 games. So that was a fun situation. That was a fun trio of guys going in 91.
In the 60s, you almost get a little underrated because you got Seaver at the tail end. You have Koufax in the middle with Marichal and Gibson. So, in a lot of time, and Carlton was still pretty good, too. So, in a lot of ways, you are very underrated in the 60s as one of the all-time greats with all the other pitchers, specifically Marichal, Gibson, Seaver, Koufax, Drysdale in the National League, Ferguson. Give me some thoughts there. Go ahead.
Well, we're all winning a lot of ball games. That was the era of 20 games. You left off Phil Niekro, who won 20 games that year. I think Sutton did, Carlton. And that was a fun situation because every time you got matched up, you knew you were going to get a frontline pitcher. You weren't going to get somebody deep in the pitching rotation. So I didn't get number 4. I got a Gibson or a Marichal or Seaver, and the competition was fun. I enjoyed that.
And you beat Gibson that first game in 71. Who did you like pitching? Did you ever pitch against Koufax in 66? Did you make a start against him?
I always got
Never
Drysdale.
got Koufax. Always got you. That's not easy either,
Drysdale. On the Cubs.
Tough on was he really? Didn't realize that. So Drysdale was tough on the Cubs.
I got Drysdale in that streak that he had, the 53 or 54 innings of shutout ball.
58.
I got him the first time 58. I got him, he shut me out in LA 1-0, and 4 days later I got him in Wrigley Field. He beat me 2-0. So I got him twice in that big streak he had.
Wow, good piece of information. Kovacs did not win the Cy Young that year. He was only 14. Drysdale did not win the Cy Young that year. He was only 14 and 12. Gibson did with the great ERA, 1.112. So, wow, you got Kovacs, you got Drysdale twice. I think it was 6 consecutive shutouts. All right, how about against Gibson? You say you like pitching against him. Give me a little rundown there. Go ahead in the 60s.
Well, the biggest thing is the Cub Cardinal rivalry because we were so close in mileage, and then again in the league because there's only 2 divisions. So I knew I was going to get Gibson quite a few times. Got him at home, got him away. The Cardinal Cub rivalry was really big back then.
Oh, it's great. One of the best rivalries. Ferguson, wonderful job. I learned something today. Keep up the good work and stay healthy. Most importantly, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Hey, good talking to you.